Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Good Morning Crypto, where we turn your early hours in the morning into your edge in the financial world. Today, we don't really have a big headline, since we had some big headlines throughout the week.
Going down.
Yeah, we're gonna do some chartery and let the people know what levels we're looking at, cause
Charcuterie.
it is definitely going down. I do want to talk about the job data, and that'll kind of be our news for the day, because it is a impactful week for the job data and the Fed rate cut decision that we will be seeing in about a week and a half. So let's dive in and get you prepped for success.
Let's go.
I've got the stock heat map pulled up. On the tech side of things, we've got Apple up 0.69%. Nvidia is finally out of the red. We are up 0.94%. We've got the finance sector looking kind of red this morning. Berkshire Hathaway is down 2.85%. We've got Eli Lilly down 3.55%. With the rest of the health technology sector also red for the morning. We do have energy also looking red, with ExxonMobil leading down 0.78%. We've got retail looking a little bit neutral. Amazon's up 2.63%. Walmart is down 0.36%. We do have Tesla up 4.9%. So up big.
Up 2 days in a row.
Yep. Up big this week off of crappy job numbers. We do have Microsoft down 0.12% and Google up 0.5%, while Meta is up 0.8%. So I'm expecting that they were probably part of those job losses, and that's why they are reporting in the green right now. So you know, what's the easiest way to get profits? You cut jobs, and then you just use that money that you saved. On the crypto side of things, everything's
I don't understand. How do you save money if you cut jobs, which means you cut production?
it's called robots, sir.
Well, if you are replacing them, yes. But if you're not replacing them,
And so a lot of the time, it's like a short term. It's like the U.S. government and their debt shuffle. They're like, hey, we're gonna cut these jobs so that we have good earnings on the month before we report earnings, and then they hire people back on. So there is that. There's also the other side of things where they just want to report higher profits in comparison to their spending, so they will end up cutting sectors where, like X, Elon cut basically 70% of the company, and it works. So you never hire those people back. I mean,
barely.
It works better than Meta does a lot of the time. At least you won't get censored on that place, because there's not enough people there to censor you. So
That's true.
oh,
It's a little, but the thing is, like, in order to cut that much of the staff, he's had to have a lot of AI bots, a lot of algorithm, and it's a little too heavy on the algorithms on X, in my opinion. It's a little too strong
Well,
because you watch one video and your whole feed is related to that video.
I mean,
it's
that's how
kind of ridiculous.
that's how Meta is. Like you get on Instagram, if you watch one video that has like a car in it, then like your whole feed is just cars. You're like, I just wanted one car video. I also want the comedy and the tech side, and I like, please stop giving me all cars. So it's not better anywhere. But like they don't want to pay people, and operating cost, as Kyle Field said, is a big part of it. And if you can just have a robot do it for free after it's been programmed by all the people that you just booted out of your company, that's a lot cheaper. Like, hey, program the robot that's going to replace you.
Oh, dude, that reminds me of when there was some company. This was back Mitt Romney years, like pre-2012, but like something happened. Some Bain Capital, his firm or whatever you call it, owned this company where they had them come in and they said, "All right, the company, the head of the company or whatever, it's like, I need you guys to talk to the employees. I need you guys to build this stage up. We're gonna have an event here this weekend." And then they built the stage, and then they came to the event or whatever, and Bain Capital came in, and they were like, "Hey, we just want to let you all know that we're shipping your job overseas, and you're all fired."
Oh God.
Yeah, they like interviewed people afterwards. They're like, "We felt like we were building our own coffins."
Yeah. Well, that's what it's like, especially
ruthless.
with AI and machines being able to take over a lot of the easy tasks that a lot of people do. So, especially in those other companies where it's like, hey, we just have a body here to push papers around. So,
Yeah.
the crypto heat map is a little neutral for the morning. We've got Bitcoin down 0.14%. Ethereum is up 0.01%. So pretty neutral. BNB up 0.56%. Solana up 0.62%. We've got XRP down 1.38%. Dogecoin's also down 1.14%. We got Tron sitting neutral. Toncoin down 0.21%, and Cardano is down 1.2%. So everything's kind of waiting on the last job numbers that we're going to get for today.
When do those come out, and what are they?
Well, I was just about to pull that up for you. So we do.
I'm impatient. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I feel it. Apparently you're more energized than I am this morning.
Hey
What we
man,
do
I told
swap?
you I had a massive headache yesterday, and I went to sleep early, and I feel great now.
Well, at least someone goes to sleep on time every night. We
Not every night.
one
Oh,
of
you
us.
mean one of us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, on the European side of things, they're getting some employment numbers coming that just came out. They also got GDP growth quarter over quarter. For the US side of things, we have average hourly earnings month over month and our average hourly earnings year over year. And these are expected to go up just a smidge. Prior was, smidge. 3.6% was prior on year over year. It's expected to come in at 3.7. For month over month, it was 0.2%, and it's forecasted at 0.3%. So just a smidge of growth. We have average weekly hours, not a heavy data drop. This is all coming in at 7:30 my time, so 8:30 Eastern time. We do have non-farm payrolls coming out at 8:30. So that's going to be the heavy data drop. It is forecasted to be 160,000, with prior being 114. So could be some decent growth, could not be some decent growth. You know, they've definitely forecasted some things in the past several months that have been just outright ridiculous, where they were like, "Oh yeah, job numbers are going to be up," and then they're down, ridiculous. Or they'll revise it down because it was, yeah, we overguesstimated by like 1 million jobs. So we'll see how the market
What do you
reacts
say
off of
about
that.
2 years ago when they underestimated by 500,000?
Um, that the government is really, really crappy at getting data to the public on a decent time frame. You know, they just wing it by the seat of their pants, and that's acceptable.
I think maybe they should stop doing these whole releasing them before they are revised
Yeah.
type
Well,
deal.
I think the only data drop that really matters is the revision, because that's when they've actually gone in there and they actually know the real data, as opposed to it's like, hey, let's just mess with these dudes that like to trade stocks and crypto, and like let's get market sentiment where we want it, and then let's just dash their hopes next week or next month when we actually know what's going on. But by that point, it's already too late because you've got those initial numbers, and revisions, unless it's extremely drastic, do not move markets as heavy as the original data point. So they already got it over on people.
Hmm.
And then
Gotcha.
later in the morning, we have the unemployment rate. It was 4.3%. They're forecasting 4.2. I think that's some BS. Especially
Inflation?
with no,
No.
unemployment rate.
Unemployment.
4.2 is what they want. So I don't think we're getting it, but that's just my opinion. I going off of what I see in my little sector of America, where there's a lot of people unemployed. A lot of people unemployed. And
Oh, really?
yeah, either by choice or just by laziness, or it's just struggling to find a job. Where some
Oh,
place
you're Midwest, so I imagine there's probably not a lot of work
no, I
other than
mean
farming.
there's a lot of jobs in my sector where it's blue collar work, and we do construction or like
Right.
heavy
It,
machinery, but people don't want those jobs. They're not comfortable at those jobs, and that's why you see those numbers that Piper talks about, where job comfortability, and people are gonna switch jobs in 4 months. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of shitty jobs available, but like people don't want them.
Tuesday was my 6th year at where I work. I don't, and then we have people that come in that only last like a week or two, and I don't understand it. It's good pay.
Yeah,
You get to work outside, get to work by yourself. I don't
I
understand it.
I would love
People are
that.
just lazy.
I would love that. But a lot of people, after the whole COVID, where they got free money, it kind of ruined the job market.
Mm,
I don't. I know I got paid more. Well, I got paid more when I got laid off than I was making at my job at the time, and like
oh
that's
well.
what that's kind of what forced me when I was going to go back to work. I was like, I can't go make less money now. Like I'm kind of spoiled. Even if I don't like necessarily like the job, I need the money. So let's go find something better. And I've been running heavy machinery since.
There you go.
Let me pull up the
Gotta do
fear and
what you gotta
greed for
do.
the people. We've got the
You got
stock
it.
market at 47. So it is continued to tick down. We are neutral on that. On the crypto side of things, we are almost at extreme fear. This is what I've been waiting for. I want to deploy some capital. So let's get there.
I want lower extreme fear.
How low do you want?
10 or less.
Oh God, you want you want people shaking out so you can buy their crypto.
I want pain. I want people to just, yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't want people to feel that, but they're going to
Yeah.
if they're new and they're not used to it. So, but that has always been the best time to buy. So,
Most definitely. Do you want to give the Bitcoin overview for the peoples?
yeah, I can do that.
Awesome. Let me get that swapped over to you so you can give the people the rundown of the day, and I will get some charts pulled up in the background so that we can just keep running. And if anyone has some altcoin requests or some assets that they'd like to see on the TradeFly side of things, throw that in chat for us so we can get that pulled up for you. We're doing a chart heavy day.
Are we?
Well, that's what I was gonna do. The people need it.
They don't need it.
They need it.
I thought we were talking about FTX.
I mean, I can touch on that too.
Okay. Maybe.
Yeah, it'll be better once we actually know more about the whole FTX debacle and their payment, and if the SEC is actually gonna screw with the payment schedule. So,
Gotcha. Yeah, so currently we are sitting. So this little indicator is actually really, really nice. It's called Spaceman BTC key level. You can come in here and you can add all these different things on here. You can make a global shorthand to kind of shorten up all those letters over there. I'll just leave it like that for your viewing experience. But you can add all different kinds of things. You can add the previous 4-hour open, its highs and lows, and its midpoints, and it does that for the 4-hour, the daily, the Monday, the weekly, the monthly, the quarterly, and the yearly. It also has some sessions in here that it'll give you the highs and lows of. So the reason why I point that out is because these are often levels that the market is seeking. And right now we are looking at the market is sitting at the current year midpoint with the yearly open right over here. And now I wish it had the last year's 2023 high, but because that's about 45,000, which is where I've been thinking we're going to go. But of course, we have the yearly open that we have not tested since we broke free in January. Come back down, maybe hit that yearly open a little lower, 42.5, a little lower than 45,000, but we can definitely get there. Right now we're just being held up by the current year midpoint. We've been ranging, of course, all up here, and it looks like we just hit that final area where it's just like, all right, that's it. We're done with this range. It's time to move lower. And then maybe we come up, hit the bottom of this previous range just being this. And then we hit lower. When we come down, maybe we get in between mine and Piper's 45 and his 35, his possible 35. Maybe we get 42.5 and everything's good. I mean, really in between us 40, but you know what I mean. Somewhere in the middle there. If I go ahead and I'll bring up the visible range volume profile, we can see that we do have a point of control right there at the yearly open. So 43,000, 42.5 to 43K. I think is going to end up being more likely than not. We did have this high volume node right here, but that could just be this big spike right here and this consolidation range that we had for about 10 days or so back in February. So what I am looking for, let's bring that visible range volume profile back up. We're basically losing this value area high and this high volume node. And once we lose that, you can see there's a lot of room in here before we can move back or move down to this next level. So that just tells me that if we lose this level, and we're probably coming all the way down here. I mean, that's just how it's going to be, which is fine. We can get a bounce, and then we'll look for a low and a high, and then a higher high, and then a higher low. And then if we get something like that, great. Then we're looking good. But if it struggles coming up here and goes lower, then we are probably going to go to that 35K that Piper was talking about yesterday. If you haven't seen that, go and watch that. It was a great deep dive, and it was an absolute masterclass in how to keep viewers drawn in as you wait for the headline to come up. As far as short-term price action, man, I don't know. This is on the daily, so I don't know. We can come up here, but it's gonna be. I don't know that. I don't know if we will or not. I saw Alex O yesterday talking about how we're gonna bounce today, which we definitely could. We are below, like I was saying, we are below that quarter low, previous quarter low, and the current yearly midpoint. So this is a significant area of support. So I would like to see us come up. And what am I on the 4-hour? Come up, get above the quantum reactor here. The problem is we do have this soft order block here, and we have a high order block, which means there's a lot of volume right up here that we would have to get through in order to continue higher. We do have, this is kind of a falling channel. So these are typically kind of reversals, or at least short-term reversals, where it will just come up here. So I would be looking for that. You know, that's what I thought we were going to do right here, but then it failed and came down. So we readjust to what we get from the market, and we see, all right, so now we have just an even longer term downwards consolidation in this downwards channel. So now I'll just look for the pop up, a back test, a retest, and then continuation. But zooming back out, we can see that that might be short lived, right? That might be short lived. I saw TradeFly talking about a head and shoulders. I think he was already seeing it in here, but I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't consider any of this a head and shoulders, in my opinion. It's just, it doesn't, I don't think it resembles a head and shoulders. This to me is just more, it's just a range. It's just a range. Like, let me get rid of this so we can see. Let's get rid of Spaceman so we can see this too. So yeah, this range right here is just maybe a little lower on that one, but let me go ahead and put this one down. There we go. So this was the range, and we kind of fell out of it, but we could come back into it. Okay, we could come back into it. What I would be looking for on these short-term time frames is to come back into it and then come back and back test this level right here at 57.7. and then from there I'd probably fire off along to the highs up here at 61.3. I know there's some liquidity up here at 63,000 that we can come up and reach for. Basically, that when I pull all the way back, that when I first started on this is your daily chart. So this could take a little while to play out. Like, it might not be just a straight line down, right? It might be a move back up and then down. It might not even cross this low. It might just start moving to the upside. You know, typical could go up, could go down. But the thing is, we just got to wait and see what the market is going to give us. Because right now, it's just kind of like, it's almost no man's land. It's just sit on your hands and wait. We don't want to get a daily close below this 49K. I think that would not be ideal. Get a daily close below that, and we're likely, definitely, probably going much lower. Now, I did explain this earlier a few days ago, how if I draw this box on this wick right here, I would be looking for, on the daily chart, a close, an entry into this box, and it can even exceed it at a wick. But as long as we come back up and we close inside this box, and then the very next candle we come up and come out of it, that is when I would start considering a long, because that is technically, that hits all of my personal rules for a double bottom. So nice, and double bottoms are also, W style reversals. So that's what I would look for in that. And we are still, flagging here a little bit. It's not really a flag, it's more of like a broadening wedge. So there's your hopium. But for now, I'm just being cautious and just waiting for price action to play out and to show me, for the market to show me its hands. What you got, BC? Oh, and these also and bears too. Just so you know, they're all red, like all red. Everything's below the zero line so, on the daily.
Oh yeah, I've got the Dixie pulled up, so let me hop over to that. This is the 4-hour chart. I got rid of my old trend line, just so people could see, but this was the old trend line, which we kept bouncing off of, and we have finally broke below it and made a lower high below it. So I've now hidden it. It's not fully gone. You never want to fully get rid of your old data because it might come in handy later. But this is a line that I saw pulled from this high over here before we kind of started our downtrend. It did turn into support for a second before we immediately lost it and have just been ranging below it. We are kind of at a bottoming point where I would be looking with positive job numbers today for a little upside on that. I am looking back at the 101 range where we have had heavy consolidations in there, where we've got it here and here and here and here. So 101 is a solid range for the dollar on recent data and against other currencies. Yes, Retro Beast, we all sound so bearish because it's kind of bearish right now. You follow the trend until it ends, and that's just what you have to go with. But I am looking at the positive data moving the dollar up before we find a little more rejection off of that. We do have the RSI curling up, but we do have the volume coming out. So I would expect not too heavy of a movement to the upside on that. And maybe getting back up to the trend line, but probably staying in that 101 range before maybe seeing some downside for the next week. So not too much hopium on my side. I can toss that back over to you, David, or if you're not ready, I can pull something else up because I do have some other assets in the background ready to go.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah. I just saw Tony Soprano ask if Casper is dead. I'm not sure if the project is dead, but the price is. Yes. For the last year, it is down 77.9%. There are cryptos that are doing worse, so I can say that. For the last year, that's year to date. For this year, it is down 67.92%. For the last 3 months, it is down almost 60%. For the last month, last 3 months, it's almost down 60%. For the last month, it's down 24.25%. It is at new lows. So take with that what you will. I do know that I think it was right here when this whole thing started right here. I do know that the Casper network got hacked, I believe, fairly recently. So that could have something to do, a little to do with the downwards price action. But let's be real. I mean, a lot of DeFi, a lot of the altcoin market is doing very, very bad right now. And that is because there's just no liquidity for the alts, and Bitcoin is being dumped. So that's like a double whammy on top of the alts. So yeah, Caspa's not looking good, but I will say that if it can just, let's see, this is more the range right here. So once we broke down through here, then came up, and then we back tested essentially this level. It just excuse me. Everything's low. I mean, money flows in the red on the weekly. True 7. I mean, your volume metrics, everything's it's just that it just needs liquidity, man. But hey, it's at 1 cent. If you want to load up on it, feel free. I mean, that's all. That's your prerogative, not financial advice. I'm not going to tell you to do it. I will just say that if it can come back up and get back into this range, then it might be okay. Get back above 3 cents and it might just survive. But who knows when that would even be? I don't know if I would buy any right now. I mean, I know I've been bullish on Caspa in the past, but the market's kind of changed a little bit. So I'm not so sure. And I would need to do some up-to-date research on it to see if it is worth getting into. I've never seen anything like that before on a visible range volume profile. That's kind of crazy. All the volume has been in this whole range right here. That's crazy. But yeah, you can see long period of, I don't know if this is distribution and this was just because of the hack, or if this was accumulation and then they got hacked and bam. Like, I don't know. I don't like the fact that they got hacked. I don't like a project that can get hacked. That's what we're trying to. That's what crypto's about. Is trying to keep that from happening. So as soon as a project gets hacked, it's kind of it almost just gets taken off of my radar. So, I still hold Casper. Not a lot. I do still hold it personally, just for transparency's sake. And I'm not going to sell it here. This is going to be a ride it until it comes back up, if it ever does, or I just lose that money, which is fine, because when you make an investment, you don't invest more than you are willing to lose. So, Casper, rather. You're in my hot seat. There we go. Hey, we should start a thing. You're in my hot seat. we're flying into the sun. Sun Squad. By the
I
way,
like it.
up with that yesterday, BC. I came up with that in the crypto nightcap chat. The Sun Squad, because we're up early, you know.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
Lunar.
I was not there last night because I was at a Nebraska volleyball game. So
Yep. He was looking at volleyball girls.
well, if you get free tickets, you don't turn it down.
I mean, okay.
Free tickets is free tickets.
Hola, French Toaster. I want to say good morning to some people. Hola, French Toaster. Good morning, Tony Soprano. Bluff City Breaks. Bluff City Breaks? Pull up Bluff City Breaks. Are you from here? Are you from where I live, Bluff City? Because I mean, maybe. Told you guys about Moonwell a few days ago. Today, Coinbase announced they'll be listing Moonwell. You did say something about Moonwell. David has blood on his hands. Oh God, Rakinos, Jesus. Good morning. Good morning, Kyle Field. Good morning, Moho. Good morning, maybe a Band-Aid. And good morning, Retro Beast. Beast. I don't believe so. Last time I came in here, I said to just look at Moonwell. Yeah. Bluff City Breaks. Aren't you the guy that was talking smack to Piper in his chat? Bluff City Breaks. He's got to be from Memphis. He's got to be somebody that I know. I don't know. We'll see. What do you got, BC? What time is it? Okay, we got time. Hello, BC. Hello.
Let me get that swapped
Testing.
over. I was typing, so had to reply to the people's. Retro Beast had said, I appreciate there's a need to be prepared, but you can get lost in trying to guess where the price is going. Ultimately, it's market makers dictating the price, and we're all just here for the ride. I love a little bit of hopium, so no hate. Yep, I was gonna say that's why I just keep it more simple. I am a swing trader, so I just try to catch the bigger moves, and if I can catch enough of the bigger moves on the low leverage, then I can keep adding to my dry powder and transfer that over to hodls when it is time to buy. So that's what I look for, is those big moves, and look for those buy signals. And it's all to get more Bitcoin for me. So we will see where it goes. I do have the SPX pulled up. That's the S&P 500. We are sitting in this fair value gap. I've got a trend-based fib extension pulled from this last high, or this last low of our range. So I pulled that, went to the high, and came back down. We've got the 50% sitting right below us in this fair value gap. So we are getting a little bit of curvature on our Prime Oscillator Pro with a bottoming signal and some oversold. But we are kind of looking like we're getting continued outflow where it is green, but it's not overly green yet. It's kind of in that gray color. So I am looking at us to close that gap before we get our job data. You do have the MACD that is still coming down. It just crossed negative, so I am looking at a little more downside on that. We probably will get a little pump up off of job data, especially if it is extremely positive, like they are saying it's going to be. But I am looking to close that gap at 5,456. So just keep your eye on that for the morning, and we'll see how this job data comes out. I can toss that back over to you, LBC, if you got something else pulled up.
Yes, someone was talking about Solana. Maybe going to what'd you say? Retro Beast says, I'm looking to buy a load more Solana. What's the Hopium price to look out for? In your view, I was looking at 120 in the short term. Before I get to that, let me see if I can find something. This is a little broken, but for Bluff City, if this tells you anything, this is a Steven Goskowski Mythos Tiger bobblehead that I have. I need to fix it, but yeah, huge Tiger fan from Memphis. But yeah, 120. Let's see. Let's zoom out. We're gonna have to zoom out a lot because I was trying to zoom in because I was gonna try to find a possible setup for Bitcoin on the low time frames for today. But give the people what they want. All right, let's see. Let's go without being audience captured. There we go. Where are we at? Okay. I mean, man, to be honest, if I could see this popping up here to 146 and then rolling over, I know TradeFly was talking about how it's kind of just been in this range. But only if you go by the candle closes. We do see that it has been reaching lower. So I don't know. I feel like if Bitcoin drops, everything is going to drop. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We do have these equal highs up here, so I definitely could see the fact since we've been kind of consolidating right here, I could see us come up and take those equal highs, come up to the golden pocket of this range, and then if things don't look good and things are shaky, then I could see the rollover, and that would just getting down to this next level, just down to this 0.382. That's 104. So 120 might not even be low enough, in my opinion. So we do have a lot of volume right here at that 0.382. This Fibonacci line right here. And that is also going to be right around the midpoint of this whole consolidation range. So, I mean, is it impossible? No, we can definitely come up and then come right back down. And I'm kind of feeling that way on the market as a whole. We might get a bounce today. We might get a bounce into next week. But we do have something looming right here. Oh, and I said it right on the date too. The 18th, first rate cut. I could even see on the initial news of the rate cut that we get a bullish move to the upside, but then ultimately fail, put in a swing fail pattern, taking out these highs here, put in a swing fail pattern, coming back into this range and going right back down to the bottom of the range. Especially anytime you move quickly to the top of a range or to the bottom of a range, it typically leads to a quick reversal back to the other side. What you want to see is a slow move up, slow grind up, and you want the breakout to be strong. Like you want it like kind of chug along, and then when it kind of consolidates underneath and then breaks out, that is what you are looking for on a breakout. And you don't want to see it just go straight up, because typically that means that the market maker is just looking for liquidity. And so they're going up to grab that liquidity so that they can pull the market down further. We do have this loud order block on the daily that we are sitting on, sitting within right now. But I am seeing some signs that we can see some short-term bullish price action. I know people, we've been bearish and all this stuff. Yeah, that's on a midterm type of look, possibly long term. Short term, though, we can always see pops. Yesterday I was talking about how, it'd probably be a good idea to just short the pops up because they're all just going to be kind of like suckers rallies. But we do see on the oscillator down here that we are trending to the upside. Our money flow is still in the red, but it is starting to trend towards the green. But the fact that it's still in the red means that even if we did get a pop up here, if this just came up to like the 0 line, maybe expect a move down, and then hopefully just a bounce. So you can come up and then come down and then come up to that area that I was talking about. So we can see some short-term relief that may turn into a suckers rally, and this is across the board for all of crypto and even probably stocks, because we do have the Fed rate cut in less than 2 weeks. The first one, and we don't know if it's going to be 25 or 50. And the way that the data has been coming out recently, I'm starting to lean a little more towards 50, but just a little bit. I know that the CME Fed Watch tool, the 50 basis points prediction has been increasing, and they're almost equal, aren't they? They're pretty close. So yeah, we now on Solana we do see. So yeah, I think 120 is very doable. I would just possibly wait for 104, 105, because that would be the next area of support. Right now, it's kind of hanging in no man's land. But yeah, I can definitely see a move up today. Let's come down to the smaller turn time frames. Kind of putting in a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders here, where we've got a shoulder, head, and a shoulder. So could definitely see a push up off of that. Let me get off of this VRVP so we can actually see the candles. There we go. Let me turn off the Market Dynamics Pro. There we go. All right, so yeah, a little bit of a head and shoulders kind of forming in here. Let me just draw this across. There we go. And we can see that we've got a shoulder, a head, and then a possible shoulder right there at that value area low, bounce off. And then from here, we go from the head, tip of the head, to what is called the neckline, aka resistance, and then we take that and place this wherever we break out from. So if we were to break out from here, that would take us to 150. And if we go ahead and we zoom back out to the daily, that doesn't even get us up to our target right here at that golden pocket. But that would help us break from this range, and I could see us pull back. Oh, let's readjust that. Pull back, consolidate on top of this point of control, push up to that, possibly on that rate cut release, and then bombs away. So we'll see when we get there. If we are so what I would be looking for when we get to that point, anytime if we get a move up like that, I would be looking for this to maybe come up short so that would give us a bearish divergence. Even on this one right here, if we came up a little tall on here, then that would give us a bearish divergence as well. That would push us down. So we got to have confluence with our indicators. We're going into an area of interest, but we're also getting a bearish divergence at the same time. That's almost a perfect setup to go short from, or long if it is in the opposite direction. But yeah, Solana is just kind of everything is kind of in no man's land. I think we'll get a little bit better of an answer today, or a little bit better view of on the market after today. Today's just been 4-day weeks, man. They're always tricky and choppy and just ugly. So especially ones that have a non-farm payroll data releases and economic data releases all during it. Like, this week was always going to be nasty. But the head and shoulders is there on Solana, so I could see it pop up before it comes back down to that 120. So I wouldn't be expecting that 120 just yet. Next.
Well, that's some great TA there. So I've got Bitcoin dominance pulled up. As we've seen the Bitcoin price fall, we have seen dominance go up. We are sitting right on top of this extension. So I pulled from down here where we've got 38% dominance. I pulled up to this high over here where all of these were just kind of consolidation ranges that I couldn't really get a low off of. So I waited till I saw a pullback to kind of pull off of. That was at 52% dominance and pulled down to, let's see, 48.82% dominance. That was kind of where we started making that last move up. We are sitting right on top of the 618, which is 57%. And I've had my eye on this whole range for us to get to 60% dominance. And 60% dominance is sitting right on top of this 786. So if we can get up to 60%, I am looking at pretty much deploying all of the dry powder that I have into my alts, no matter how low that they are, because I don't think that we're going to get much higher on BTC dominance, and from there it will just make the slow fall back down as Bitcoin's price continues to increase. So that's kind of what I have my eye on that Bitcoin dominance. We are getting some rollover. We are sitting on top of the 618. If I drop it down to a smaller time frame, we are sitting right on top of it. So it's been a consolidation range that I would look at making a little break off of. We're getting curvature to the upside here, but on higher time frames to the downside. So I would look at bouncing off of this 57%. 50 it's barely over 57%, but I would look at bouncing off of that and reclaiming its big market share at 60% before coming back down. I'm going to toss I'm actually going to go to a dual screen. We've got 3 minutes left of which to talk to the people before we got to wrap it up.
Go to my screen real quick.
Show the peoples what you got.
All right, so we have our money flow. This is on the Bitcoin 5-minute chart. Our money flow is still kind of red, so don't really like that, to be honest. But we are coming down. We have put in a little bit of we got equal lows down here. I just saw that. I was gonna say that we have a little bit of a market shift in market structure, but then again, this is the high that we need to be taking out. This is going to be not the best play, but I am going to take this trade regardless. So, just kind of a push off of here, pulled a fib from the low to the high here. And back test, come back down to the golden pocket right here where we have all this volume. We do have the point of control a little bit lower than that, but I want to try and get in before, just in case, because I do see all this volume in this area here. So just in case it gets kind of front run, but this level right here, this is on Blowfin Perps, 55,850 is where I'm going to look to get in at. And I'll be targeting the New York Open as my first take profit. And then once I take my first profit, I let trades ride. I will move my stop loss up to take care of any kind of fees or anything like that. And then I will just let the things ride. And then as price is moving up, I will move my stop loss along with it, kind of like a trailing stop loss. And then if it drops and takes me out, hey, I made money. Who cares? So that's the trade setup that I'm looking at for this morning. Now I would just be careful because we do have those equal lows down here. So equal lows and equal highs love to be taken out, and we do have the economic data coming in. But if this does fail or takes me out anyway, where did I have this? I had this just below this low. If this does fail and come down here and take me out and then immediately like reverses, I will probably, and we have the money flow flipping into the green and our trend fusion oscillator flips up, then I would probably end up still jumping on and riding the momentum because I just feel like we might get some relief today. It just feels like that kind of day. It's Friday. I want to see some relief, just some, and then we can get up into all these important levels right here. And then, but I like the fact that we came down, we swept this low during the London session, sweeping all the lows of yesterday, and now getting that possible reversal out of that. So it might be short-term bullish, short-term trade, but and we can still make money off of it. And then once it gets up into the upper zone, the oscillators are doing, and if they're telling us, hey, this is a weak move to the upside, then I'll be like, you betcha, I'm gonna go short now. There you go. It's Friday.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a great day. I'm ready for the weekend though. So
Yep. I got a green screen. You guys are gonna see a new look on Monday, hopefully, if everything goes well. And yeah.
no, it will
do
go
that.
well. It will go well. We'll
We'll
get her
see.
done.
We'll see. We'll see.
I will make it get done one way or another as long as you get it all set up.
Yeah, indeed. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. I appreciate each and every single one of you. We both have blue collar jobs, and we have to get to them. So I got to get ready, and yeah, we got to go do that. So thank you all for joining us. I hope you all have an amazing weekend. Don't forget to watch Piper Academy at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and there is no crypto nightcap tonight. It is Friday, so yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today. Thank you all, and we'll see you in the next video.
Most definitely.
Live.
Everyone, be careful with the job data this morning, and protect your capital off of it, cause it's gonna be volatile. Other than that, everyone wake up.
Today's gonna be a good day.